Welcome everybody to this channel, and in today's channel we will talk about the mixer brush tool. Many of us they do frequency separation, and we get several approach wey they do frequency separation, but not many of us really understand. For those of us where they use the mixer brush tool, how the mixer brush tool function. Okay, now this is the mixer brush tool. This brush with the little eyedropper on top of it, and if you open the dock panel, you will see say they get several tool wey dey inside the same dock. But for me, I just choose this tool because now it's I dey mostly use. So you fit edit your own by coming to these three dots, and then click edit toolbar. So inside this panel, you fit remove the brush where you want. You fit add the ones where you dey basically use. The one where they use at all, you just remove them, go another side and press done. That's all. So that's why I take make my own. And then you can also for those of us where they alternate between tools. For me, if I want change between tools, I'll just press B on my keyboard. You see the change between the brush tool and the mixer brush tool. But for your own, in case you never change the setting, you'll need to hold down shift on your keyboard, the press B to change those settings. But if you want to do your own like my own, just press Ctrl K on your keyboard. Okay. Once you press Ctrl K, it will bring up this panel. Then the next thing where you would do, um you would check, I think, make I see workspace. Not workspace tools. Yes. So you go uncheck this option, use shift for tool switch. Once you uncheck them, you no need to dey hold down shift again for you to switch between tools. Okay. So in case you want to do your own, just like that. All right. So let's go straight into the mixer brush tool today. Okay. Now, when you open your mixer brush tool, for those who just they use them, or you don't they use them before, but you don't really understand. Several people just they use one number with they see for another person video. Some people just they about the numbers. What they use, what they use. Say they use 30, 30, 30, 30, 90. They use this. Why they use them? I don't know. Now so this person they use them. So make I just they use them. You don't understand. You don't know why they use them. But I believe after today, you could get a good understanding of the mixer brush tool. So that when they do frequency separation, you would know how to adjust the settings to give you the results where you defined. Okay. So by default, you will see your mixer brush tool like this. Go they set up like this. Okay. This simply means the color where they the foreground here. Okay, it dey carry color where they the foreground. If I change the foreground color, okay, it will pick up that color as well. Put on for here. But if you click on this small triangle, you see load brush and clean brush. Okay, so it just they pick the colors where they there, or you fit select your own color where you want load on top. But before then, I would like you to just imagine an artist, a painter. You understand? Wey one paint. If person one paint, e carry in canvas come out. E go get one small palette wey they put color, several color, and then e go get one brush when they use paint on that canvas. Okay. So if he finish, or if you use that brush carry color, it means saying they load color on the brush. Okay. And then water go there on another side where they clean the brush. So now waiting these two options dey for here. Clean the brush. If you click on that one, you see say it will give you like a clean brush. So this option also, now the same thing where you go see here, load brush. Now be this one. If you just hover your mouse over this place and then it bring up that suggestion small information panel, you go see I'm go write load brush. Okay, with solid color, whichever thing they put. I don't know why my own no they come up. Yes, so load the brush after each stroke. It means when you don't, do the stroke down like this on your canvas, it will load the brush with color. You see, Amba? Make I clean the brush again. If I draw come down like this, it go load down with color. Now what it mean? So load the brush after each stroke. But we no want make it a load brush after each stroke because we dey work on picture, no be on canvas, white canvas. So just uncheck this one, which means e no go dey load any color again. You understand? While this one, now I leave and they checked. This brush where they strike like this, it means clean the brush after each stroke, which means when you don't use the brush, they work on your canvas or your picture, you go dip am inside water, clean the brush so that it go dey clean. No color go affect your canvas. You no go get, fragment of colors inside. Where we say if you pick on it, go come begin alter the color where you want. Okay, so this one simply means clean the brush with water. Now, if you come here, you go see custom, wet, load, mix, flow. Okay, now the basic function where many of us they use be that. But then under this custom, you see dry. If I select dry, what will happen? The wet they at 0, the load at 50, the flow they 100%. Well, now you get advantage to change the flow how you want them. Okay, quickly make I just explain the flow. Now, flow in some cases, if I select brush tool, now just the brush tool, okay, you'll see say it get flow, it get opacity. So what will be the difference between flow and opacity? Make I just show you quickly. Okay, so if I fill this layer now with white, this new layer I create, okay, and then I set my flow, okay, to 100. So with this color, I make the hardness up to 80, just any number, just a hard brush what I need. So if I paint like this, you see, say everything there at 100. If I bring my opacity come down, okay, to like let's say 13 is fine. Any number why? Well, just a low number. Make I put them at 20. Okay. So if I begin the paint like this, opacity simply means transparency. Now I dey go back and forth, but nothing they happen. As long as I no raise my hand, remove my hand from my mouse or my tablet or my pen or whatever device I dey use, that transparency go dey the same. E no go add anything to am. E go just still remain as long as, even if I dey go back and forth, go down, come up, anyhow, the opacity go dey the same as 20. So if I do the same thing here, now the same result I go get. But if I raise my hand up, if I dey put another one, it go add another 20% of that same opacity. Okay, if I come again, raise my hand, put another one, it go add another 20%. If I raise my hand, put another one, it go add another 20%. I raise my hand, if I put another one, it go add another 20%. Okay, as much as I dey do am, now so it go dey add 20%. How many times we don't do it now? You could just add 20%, 20% of the transparency level. Okay, they go like that. You could just add them until it go reach the point where you no fit add again. You go dey at 100, and I will go see for this place. Now, wetin be the difference between opacity now and flow? So if we take our flow to the same 20%, okay, 20%, shift and 2 go give me 20% for my flow. Okay, if I draw like this, you see wetin happen? If I come down, you see I see the scatter am. Now if I dey move like this, as long as whether I raise my hand, I no raise my hand, you see say I no raise my hand, I just dey go back and forth. If they add am, they make am thick. If I just do am once, make I use soft brush, okay, for the flow. If I do am once, it go give me at 20% of the flow. Flow just be like pressure, okay, pressure where they apply. But the only thing be say where they different. If I continue to move my hand back and forth, it go dey darken am the more. Go dey darken am the more. Go dey darken am the more. It dey different from opacity. Whether I raise my hand or no raise my hand, opacity, as long as you no raise your hand, if you like, continue to pen the whole page. Now still that 20% now it go give you for the entire place. But for flow, now pressure, you go dey add them just bit by bit, bit by bit. If you no raise your hand, you go continue to add that 20%, bit by bit, continue to add that 20%. So now be the difference between flow and opacity. So back to our picture and back to the mixer brush tool, what would they talk about? Now, you see here, okay, wet, it says set the amount of paint picked up from the canvas. So what do you mean? We say how wet your paint dey. For me, I dey like say how wet your brush dey when you want pick, color from the color palette. How wet. Some people they use dry brush. We just pick color, you know, paint and do am, on top, what's in the column, their canvas. Okay. It could be very dry paint where you want use. They get the one where they call watercolor. Okay. So when you put them for dry, you say the wet they 0%, which means no single water. If I dey do anything on this picture, damn, nothing. It's just it dey wet. I mean, it dey very dry. The brush dey dry. Okay, so much of the effect no dey quickly do anything as it were. No be say no dey work, but it dey very dry. Nothing dey really happen so much. Okay. Now the color way they load now 50% of the color of the area where they work on. Okay, load now what it be. If I change them now to dry with light load, it go drop the load to 5%. If I say with heavy, it go carry and go 100%. Okay, the next one now moist. Imagine that same brush, you just spray water on top with spray bottle. Okay, or like you want mop ground now, you just put the tip of the mop inside the water, the liquid where you want to mop the floor. Say they wet the entire mop. Now just to make them just they wet small, make it they moist, then use them, mop ground. Now you see when you put them at moist, it carry your wet come 10%. By the time you begin work, see what thing they happen. You see how they apply the effect because you don't put water. The load now of color now just 5%. Your mix now 50. Your flow now 100. Okay. Remember what I tell you about flow. Okay. Now, if you carry and come, say you do with light mix, you see, say your mix don't come to 0. Okay. It simply means say as they carry the color, they mix them. It just they use one color. They go for you. It just they carry and they go. You go carry that color. They mix them as such. When you pick color, you pick yellow, you pick blue, you mix them together, I give you green. This mix, they work for there. That's why you see, you go just paint over this one. Go carry whichever pre-existing color we pick from that place. Paint them over the next one. Go mix them for you. But when you now come down to wet now simply when you carry the mop, maybe halfway or the brush, you dip them inside water, take pick color. You see, say the wet or reach 50%, your load 50, the mix everything 50 except the flow where you get, the power to control, change them, however you want to do them. So it could just do everything for you. 50% they go. Okay. Why the next one where you go see now heavy, very wet. This one, the brush you soak and ganga inside water, it enter water well. By the time you put out all the color itself, they very wet. Okay. By the time you select them with heavy mix, you go just see as they rush the whole thing, they go sharp. The brush they like say you put mop inside the whole mop inside water, you just carry and put on top ground. You know how it go take splash the water for ground, how it go take run on the floor. Go they go sururu where. You understand? All right. So with this kind of understanding now, you go fit set, your values the way you want them to give you the results where you defined. You dey think wetin I dey think, ba? When you hold picture, you want do frequency separation. Just imagine, say you get color, you get brush, or you hold bucket and mop. Now you dey decide how wet you want your brush, how much color you want pick, how you want take mix am, the pressure with which you want take apply am for which area, and all of that. Okay. So for most people, almost all of us na custom we dey use, but you fit use any of these presets wey dey for this place. So wet, maybe you no want make your brush dey very wet. Carry am come 3%. Okay, you carry am come 3%. Your brush, just small water. Now you want put three from 1 to 5. Finish. How much of the color you want load? Okay, so that when you dey pick the color, how much of am you want make collect from the palette? You want so much, or you want little or less color? It's up to you. If you want very little, you already know wetin you go do. Just set the value for here, and it will give you small load of color when you dey pack the thing from the palette, or you dey do am on your picture. When you come to mix, how you want mix the areas between these two colors? You know, say the color wey dey for this dark side, na darker shade of wetin dey here on the lighter side. How you want mix these two colors together so that it go blend, come graduate. You know, when they say gradient, go grade, enter each other, go smoothly, go dey fine. You know, no be the one way you go do frequency separation. One thick line go dey here, wey separate where dark and where bright. Person go come begin dey wonder, wetin this person do? Okay, so you go choose how you want make it mix finely. In most cases, a very high number dey very good, go give you good result. It go mix am well, go dey very smooth, go dey very clean. Okay, and then the flow, now how you want set the value. So this now some understanding where you need to get, in order for you to achieve the kind of results where you want achieve. If you want pictures just from this one, what we'll do, where we say the whole thing go just dey so smooth and all of that, there you go. You see, as I put the wet, I just choose wet brush. Then you can also change all these values, but you go dey very careful where you dey do am. You see, because the brush dey very wet at 50%. It dey very wet. What if we say, okay, make we take the values just to maybe 4? Watch wetin go happen. You see, say they put am so much, but it dey there. It still dey wet. Okay, now we want make the mix come up to like 90. You see wetin dey happen? It dey mix am finely. You understand? It dey mix am very, very finely as you dey do am. Okay, so make I carry my load come up. Okay, just so that we can have an idea of something. Now take more of the colors for me. Say I put them at 70, 80, make I put them at 75 or 70. Oh, sorry, now my wet go affect. Make I put them at 70, my load, and then carry my wet come down to 4. Okay, now my mix day at 90. Just do am softly. Okay, now the reason why it still dey soft like this, remember the last value or the last element we will talk about. Now the flow, the pressure to which you take dey apply this effect, how you want to make it be. Okay, so the only last element we go control the spread of this thing now just the flow. But if I carry this value come down to dry brush, see, don't remove the mix. Anything what they do, it dey work. But I dey use dry brush take work on them. That way I don't even need to dey touch my flow. But by the time I don't wet my brush small, okay, my mix don't come back. The only thing I need to do now to draw this my flow come down. Okay, so that the thing what they apply go just dey, small small. I no want am plenty. If I even feel say e still too much, I go reduce my flow, come down very well. Just apply am small small, come wetin I dey do. Okay, so I hope this one will give you a good understanding of how to use your mixer brush tool, okay, to achieve wetin you want achieve. E better say you understand the tool wey you dey use than just see am for somebody pay. They get so much wey you fit do with this mixer brush tool than just see values and they ask for values. You want copy values wey somebody dey use. So explore, try different things, see which one will give you the best result for the kind of feel and the look where they go in terms of frequency separation. So next time when you want to edit your picture, try different values. You go know what you want to do, how you want make the picture appear. So thank you so much. I hope this video don't inform you about something. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my page. I want to thank everybody who don't follow me. So far, so good. Thank you so much for your support. I deeply appreciate them all. So please make una help me share this video around. Make una help me share to friends. Invite other people to come learn from my own page. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until I see you next time. Have a wonderful week and goodbye.